Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all of you. I hope you all are well and fine and doing good. First of all, I really want to congratulate you that you are being the part of class 5 now. So welcome to class 5. My name is Ms. Zunaira and I'll teach you computer. So are you ready for that? So before that, we must know why we have started learning like this. We have started learning like this due to COVID-19. COVID-19 is basically a name of virus that belongs to family coronavirus. All the viruses from this family corona are having the crown-like structures on their body, and this is how they look like. Okay, so there is a crown-like structures on their body on which they are named as coronavirus. The COVID-19 which has been recently introduced that causes the respiratory illness. Sometimes it can cause the death as well. It can spread very easily by a number of the ways. So what should we do in such case? We should wash our hands again and again. We should not go out of our homes. If we have to go out of our home, so we should use sanitizers repeatedly. Okay, and drink a lot of water. These are the things. If we do these things, so we can protect ourselves from being infected by coronavirus or COVID-19. So let's begin with your book. This is how your book looks like. It is Computer for Kids E. This is your book cover, and the very first chapter from this book which we are going to learn is Chapter Story of Computer. It would be your first chapter, and it is on page number 1. If you see this word story, so what comes first in your mind? You might be thinking that how can a computer have a story? We are human beings, we have our lives, so we can have the story. How a computer can have a story? So let's see how it is happening. In this chapter, we are going to learn about computer. What kind of learning we are going to have in this chapter? Let's see. So we are going to learn about generations of the computer, their sizes and processing speed. If we talk about the size, so there are the generations of computer, and generation after generation the size would be reduced. If we talk about the computer, so the size would be reduced. Yes. If we talk about processing speed is basically the speed with which the computer works. Okay, what is the generation? So we are going to learn. Let's begin with generation. So here what we are going to do, we are going to compare the word generation with human beings. So consider this word for human beings. Simply we can say that the gap from our parents to us and from our grandparents to our parents. But this gap brings about some of the changes, like our great grandparents did not have electricity in their time, and now we have. We are living in the modern era in which we have air conditioners as well. Likewise, if we talk about the computer, so a computer also goes through many of the changes accordingly, so we call it as their generation. So here you can see that how the time changes, and how the time brings about some of the changes. Okay, so let's see what kind of generations we are going to learn. We are going to discuss this word in term of computer. So here we are supposed to talk about generations of computer. So how many generations of computer are there? There are 5 generations of computer up till now. Okay, and how these generations have been given their names? They are given their names as first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and the fifth one. Okay, so if we talk about the generations of computer, so there are 5 generations of the computer, from which we are going to learn about third, fourth and fifth one in detail, because these two you have been taught in class 4. Okay, one thing would be common, that the size would be reduced generations after generation, and processing speed would become faster and faster generations after generations. Okay, so here we go with first generation. So if we talk about the first generation computer and the second generation of computer, okay, remember that first generation and the second generation you have been taught in class 4. We are going to have their brief only, okay? We are not going to discuss them in detail. Look at this picture. In this picture, this is something which is looking like machine, but actually this is the computer of first generation. You can see that they are very big in size. As I told you that the size would be reduced generations after generations. What kind of things were used in first and second? If we talk about first generation computers, so vacuum tubes were used. They were big in size. They used to produce a lot of heat. Vacuum tubes are the tube-like structure from which electricity can pass. Okay, so the vacuum tubes were used. They were big in size. They used to produce a lot of heat. If we talk about the second generation computer, so they were much better than first generation computer because there were transistors were used in second generations, okay, instead of vacuum tubes. Transistors are small objects which can do all of the work of vacuum tubes. They were smaller in size as compared to first generation, and they used to produce less heat than the first generation. Okay, so these are the common features of both of these generations. Our book starts from third generation, so let's go towards the third generation. Here comes the third generation computer. Okay, you can see here the size is reduced here, okay, as compared to first and second. So our book chapter starts from third generation. As I told you, it is going to be more advanced than first and second. I'm going to repeat that in first generation vacuum tubes were used, due to which much heat was produced, and in second generation transistors were used that used to produce less heat than the vacuum tubes. Okay, in third generation there is a development of IC. What is IC? I'm gonna tell you. They are smaller in size. They are more capable, or their capabilities are improved as compared to first and second generation. Okay? The very important and the key point for the third generation computer is first microprocessor was used, which was previously used in calculators just. Okay, so there is an object which was used for the very first time in the third generation, that was named as microprocessor. Before that, microprocessors were used in only calculators, and the very first microprocessor that was used in third generation, that was named as Intel 4004. So IC is basically, it's an abbreviation of integrated circuit. Okay, what is it? In second generation I told you that transistors were used which were better than vacuum tubes. Okay, IC is a small piece of silicon chip on which thousands of the transistors are placed. I'm repeating here, thousands of the transistors are placed. Okay, second generation computer was much better than the first one because of the transistors, and thousands of the transistors are placed on third generation computer on a small object. You can say that there is a small object in the computer of third generation named as IC, integrated circuit, on which thousands of the transistors are used. So it is going to be much better than the second one even. Okay, an integrated circuit that contains all of the function of central processing unit of a computer means it can do all of the work of CPU. So here comes the second last generation, fourth generation. So you can see over here the few of the features of fourth generation computer. I told you that the ICs and microprocessors were introduced in third generation for the very first time, but they have been improved now. They have been performing their function in a more proper way. They have been better now. Okay, so as I told you that as the computers go through changes or the generations, their size would become smaller, their speed would become faster. Okay, and capabilities are improved now. If we talk about the capability of hard disk was improved, so hard disk is something which can store data, makes the memory due to which our computer stores the data. It is because of the hard disk actually. Okay, so in fourth generation of the computers, see here are some of the inventions like scanner, audio video terminals, multimedia, high speed printers. This is how the high-speed printers looks like. Okay, they work on our fingertips. That's why they are called as high-speed printers. This is multimedia projector. Okay, this is a kind of machine in which lens is used, and this is used to appear small, to make the small screen appears bigger. Okay, we use usually white curtains or sheet for watching the things which we can see on small screen. We can see them in the bigger on the bigger screen due to multimedia projector. Okay, and this is how it looks like. So the last generation is the fifth generation. So let's see what happens in fifth generation. So here comes the last generation or the latest generation of computer, fifth generation's computer. Okay, so they are most advanced type of computer or advanced type of generation of computer. Okay, few of the things I told you that the size would be smaller and smaller generations after generation. So the smallest size is fifth generation computer. Okay, the fifth generation computer has the smallest size up till now. It stores more of the data, fastest processing speed. Okay, the speed with which computer works, that is fastest in fifth generation. They are most reliable, they are portable, they are advanced technology. Okay, they are having the artificial intelligence. Okay, remember that there are the key points for each generation. So if we talk about the fifth generation, artificial intelligence is something which we can use as a key point. Okay, and it means the computers of fifth generation would have capability of see it would be having the capability to see, to talk, to hear, to listen. Okay, so these are very amazing things which we can see in the computer of fifth generation. Okay, they can see, they can talk even. They are more robotic type. Okay, so here are 5 generations of the computer. Okay, first in the first generation, if we repeat the key points for each, okay, size and fastest and the processing speed would become with same graph, would be going on with the same graph, that the size would be smaller and smaller, processing speed would be faster and faster. Okay, capability of data would be increased generations after generations. Okay, vacuum tubes were used in first generation, transistors were used in the second generations, ICs and microprocessors were used for the very first time in the computer of third generation, and they have been improved in fourth generation. In fifth generation, all of these things are present, plus artificial intelligence is there. It means the computer of fifth generation can see, they can talk. Okay, so they are the latest. So this is all about your chapter, in which we have learned 3 of the types or 3 of the generations of computer. Okay, I hope you have got all of the things. So here your chapter is completed, but your copy work is still remaining. So how, let's see, things to do or work to do. Okay, this is how your book, your copy looks like. Here is a name bar. You are going to maintain this name bar very properly. You're going to write your name, your class name, your section, and your chapter, and your subject. Your subject would be computer. You are going to write computer 1. You would be given 2 of the copies for computer, and both will be labeled as computer 1 and computer 2. No copy would be labeled as computer test copy. Remember this thing, okay? So what you are going to do, you're going to write your name outside the copy, you're going to write the class and subject, you're going to maintain the index. How you're going to index, I'm going to tell you. After that, you will leave the page for syllabus. You will make title page on the next page. Okay, on the same page you are going to write subtitles of the chapter, mention the date on red line. Okay, copy down all the work from worksheet 1. For each chapter you will be given worksheets or assignments. Okay, you have to copy them down into your copy. Put all the headings with blue color pencil, write questions with blue color pencil, and write all the answers with sharp pencil. So here we are going. This is how the this is how the index looks like. You're going to put the heading of midterm first with your blue color pencil. You're going to mention the date over here. Then you're going to write the name of your chapter. When you will write name of the chapter, afterwards you're going to write question 1 till 5, fill in the blanks, exercise 1 is there and full forms are there. Okay, so after turning two pages, you will get this one page. You will get two of the pages, one index page and one lined page. Okay, your copy would be interleaf copy, but this page would be lined page. Here you are going to leave half of the page for pasting your syllabus, and here you are going to write midterm syllabus. Okay, or you're going to put the heading of midterm. After turning this page, you would get this blank page over here on which you are going to write the name of your chapter, okay, and the subtitles. Subtitles would be 5 questions, 5 fill in the blanks. Exercise 1 is there in which you are going to write the inventions and their generations. And full forms would be there. 2 full forms would be there, okay? From here you are going to start your work very properly. You're going to put date first, remember. Okay, you're going to write the question with blue color pencil and you would write your answer from here with sharp pencil. I hope you are going to do all of your work with neat and clean writing. Okay, your pencil must be sharp, your work should be done very neat and cleanly. Copy. I hope you have understood all of the things. Thank you so much. Inshallah, we shall meet in the next class. Bye.